minute. Tequila!
I wish. That's a fun new intro. I'm in that one now. That's exciting.
New intro, who dis?
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta share it everywhere. Yeah,
I know. I'm like
person.
I'm like always afraid the screen's gonna pop up before I'm done sharing, and it's just gonna be me on camera being like,
That's what it looks like. Just so. Yeah. Okay, you guys. I will open us up because Lisa's bad at this part. It is Tuesday, June 30th. It is 5:31 p.m. Central Time. I am Susan K. Worley. This is Lisa. How I say your last name, Beth?
Mangiardo, or if you want to get super Italian with it, Mangiardo.
No, I don't. So I got Lisa in here with me. Yeah, she's without a gate. I always just say Lisa Momo with AutoGate.
It works. I've heard worse.
What we got going on today, yo? I feel like I just saw you last week.
I know. This is fun. I'm getting used to this. You guys were giving me a platform that I didn't ask for, but we're running with it, which is kind of tied into what we're talking about today anyways. Opportunities you don't plan for, things I didn't ask for.
I got plenty of those, sister. Shoot.
Right? So I know for both of us, we'll just cut right to the chase with this one. A lot of people in the fence industry, women and men alike, did not expect to be in the fence industry when they first started out in their careers and somehow ended up here anyway. But that's all because they said yes to opportunities, relationships, different challenges that they were seeing, even people, in their own communities. I remember last year at the fence show when we were doing our Women of FWA roundtable discussion, there were a lot of women in that room that were like, we saw an opportunity in our town because things needed to happen. And so we ran with it. And now here we are. So it's just, it's one of those things where I don't think anybody is in school and they're like, I'm going to be a fencer when I grow up. I wish there were, because that would make our lives easier. But I don't think anybody really thinks that way unless they're coming from a family that's already heavily involved.
Oh, completely agreed. I'd say that's for any kind of technical or trade in general. Like, you don't grow up saying I want to be a plumber unless you have a plumbing family and it's something, you know what I mean? Yeah. But they're needed jobs in a great industry and a great thing to know. So yeah. I wasn't a little kid going, man, I'd really love to sell gate operators and help throw trade shows. But as a grown up, I'm like, I love selling gate operators and hosting trade shows. Not that I sell gate operators anymore, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, same. And I even had that added benefit of growing up watching my mom work for AutoGate. I was 7 when she started here, and never did I think I would, work here in a full-time capacity. I did some admin things through high school and college, but was not on my bingo card to be working here full-time. And I mean, September, I'll have been here 7 years now, which is absolute craziness. But yeah, I mean, that was still.
I totally see you. I mean, I was on Brian's podcast last week, and he had me do like a little introduction, like who I was, and I'm like, that's weird. I haven't done that in a long time. He told everybody when he found me in that bar. But what's funny about that is I was bartending when SAS found me.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, wait, that was Brian? Because I've heard your story like once. I don't know that people like know your origin story. How did you get into this originally?
What, the fence industry or into the Fence Workers Association? Okay, so I was going to college full time and bartending full time at a hotel in Baton Rouge, and these 2 older gentlemen came to eat breakfast. I was working a random breakfast service, which was super weird, and they walked up to an empty restaurant with a sign that says, "Please seat yourself," and they said, "Can we just sit anywhere?" And I was like, oh, I'm going to be mean to them today. I looked at them and said, no, you can't, sir. There's a 20-minute wait. You need to get put on the list. And I pointed at the sign, and they sat down. And mind you, in restaurants, especially hotel restaurants, we don't make money unless they're eating and leaving. Like, turnover.
Oh, turnover. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Do not miss those days. Sometimes a little bit, but like not much.
No, not at all. They sat the entire breakfast service from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. The entire breakfast service. But I was, multitasking, made sure they had full coffee, made sure they had the breakfast they want, cleaned up their plates, talked to them, entertained them, all the things that you're supposed to do whenever you're in that type of service industry. And they handed me a business card, and I'm like, let me put this in the stack of the thousands of business cards that are handed to me every day. And I brought him home, the business cards home, and my mom was like looking through them. She's like, well, this is an ESOP. And I'm like, what's that? And I did a job interview with them like maybe a month later. And it was a normal 9-to-5 job. I'm like, I can't take this job. I go to school all day long. And they were like, oh, well. And that's when they hired my mom, Toby. And yeah, and then a year later, I got pregnant and had a kid and was like, oh, I need a grown-up job. And so that's how that got started. And
that's
a long time ago.
I actually forgot about that similarity there too, how I ended up back at AutoGate. I got pregnant with my son, and I was living out in Massachusetts at the time. Our admin receptionist was going to be retiring, and so I talked to mom because she was always trying to get me home while I was living out in Massachusetts anyways, and so she had mentioned that this person was not going to be working here anymore, and I had gotten pregnant, and the decision was made to come home. And so I had talked to mom, and I was like, do you think they'll hire me in that position? Like, I would like to have a job to come home to. And she goes, yeah, I'll talk to Bill and Don, the owners. And they were like, yeah, absolutely. Bring her in. It's not like she hasn't done this position before, because from the time probably early in high school, I was doing that stuff. And then she was like, oh, by the way, she's going to take maternity in February. And they still said, bring her home. So I owe them a lot of thanks for letting me come back in. And then I think it was a year and a half, maybe after that, there was a conversation with Brian, our GM, and it was, I had wanted to be more involved and do more. That's Barb. I had wanted to be more involved and do more. And he was like, I've been doing our marketing. Is this something that you're interested in? And so I took it and ran with it, and I've been kind of learning on the fly for a lot of things, taking a couple classes here and there, but that was a big yes moment that kind of catapulted me into the rest of everything that I have gotten involved in the industry since. And it's been really fun. I mean, you know, obviously I've met you, I've met a lot of people, I've met a lot of people through Women of FWA. And there have been, you know, certain things that have opened up for me to be able to do that maybe I wouldn't be involved with otherwise. But that was all, you know, just for saying yes. And of course it was a little scary because I'm like, marketing, it, like my degree's in music education, but I went into it with the thought of, well, I can kind of talk to anybody and carry on a conversation, and how hard could it be? And whew, we found that out.
Right. Well, what scared you the most about making that transition from?
Definitely,
because you were doing it all at once. You were also pregnant. Like, that had to be extra scary, right?
So at that point, after I had come back from maternity, I was still doing the admin stuff, doing a little bit of trade show coordination, had started doing that anyway. But yeah, I mean, I had a newborn at home. The scarier part was after I had Lily, and I was like, you know, deciding, kind of throwing it around in my brain if I wanted to start going to trade shows, because that was at a point, you know, we had kind of revamped our booth, but I had done that without having been to a trade show. So then there was some discussion here about that, and that was probably the scarier part. There was going into my first trade show, really feeling, I don't want to say inadequate, but just there's so much that I didn't know. And still to this day, I mean, there's questions. We just switched over our ERP system, and it's, well, what do you need from this ERP system? What do you need to know? And I'm like, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what questions to ask because I haven't hit them yet. So that's probably the scariest part for me. And I know last week, when we had India on, we were talking about like imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. And that really has been the biggest block for me, just because, you know, I don't have that background and I don't have that training. And that's not to say that I don't learn in the process or that I can't learn, but it was something where, you know, I came in not knowing anything. You know, I followed you the first time I met you because I'm like, this lady is doing all sorts of stuff on LinkedIn and she's everywhere, and I need to figure out what it is that she's doing.
That's so really, that you can say that though, because like my LinkedIn was like, I didn't know what to do in the beginning either. And then I had seen somebody else's post. They were with a distributor as well. And all they were posting was just a gate operator on a pallet with all like the parts and pieces to it. And I'm like, what? You can do that?
Yeah.
Just something that simple. And I'm like,
yeah,
I can just post a picture of anything. And now, like, I have a broken ice maker and I post it on social media.
And that's, you and I have had that discussion before too. And even on, you know, these lives, you know, the dumbest stuff gets the most impressions. And it's just, it's so strange to me. And so, you know, looking from the outside looking in, oh, hey, Sean. Speaking of, you know, saying yes to opportunities.
Hold on. I got a text today from him. Did you get a text from him?
I might have. Shameless plug.
His new email world is Sean at imperialfencesupply.com, spelled SEAN.
Yeah, go check him out. I was going to say that fits in well with the opportunities and saying yes. I know Sean is starting a new venture that he's pretty excited about too, so go check that out. But yeah, just, you know, saying yes. You know, this episode is about saying yes to things. So like saying yes to pictures that you wouldn't think you would usually post, and those end up getting the most traction. So it's, it's all about taking the opportunities that you're given. Of course, Sean. It's all about taking the opportunities that you're given, because, why would we, this is going to sound weird to phrase it this way, but I don't know how else to phrase it. Why would we take so much extra effort to put time and energy into trying to come up with something when we could just say yes and take an opportunity that's presented to us and run with that? And sometimes that's, the kickstart.
That was worded weird. I agree with you completely. That was way too many words.
Yeah, I'm just saying, not that you don't want to put time and effort into things,
mm-hmm.
but if you can take that easier route where an opportunity is presented to you, why would you not take that?
That's interesting, because I actually went into a meeting today. I have a couple of spaces left for people to teach at the Fin Show. And I was having a conversation with a gentleman that was referred to me by somebody else I had emailed about whatever. I'm not disclosing names yet, because I'm sure I don't know how much or how comfortable they are with that. But I was like, well, I'm really excited that you're interested in teaching a class at the Fin Show. Like, what's something you're passionate about? And he's like, well, I'm not really interested in teaching at the Fin Show. And I'm not really sure what I'm passionate about. I was just kind of thrown into this. And so then my conversation to him shifted from, well, sometimes when you're nervous about things, I'm a firm believer, like the more scared I am of something means I need to do it, because it means I'm changing and growing, and I need to stretch and mold and reshape a little bit, and try it out and see if it's something, I could get better at. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And I was just like, I don't know, work with me here. I'm like, I really appreciate you taking this meeting with me, because I do need your help. And it does sound like kind of open to it, because you picked up the phone.
Right. You've answered. So there's something there. There's something there. That's kind of funny is, you talk about the more nervous you are to do something, the more prone you are to do it. What is something that has scared you having to do with, either the Fin Show or Women of FWA or anything in this industry? I know, but like
coming over to FWA full time, scared to death. I went from like a really great career that I was very happy in and very successful at, and growing and, getting better. And I had very specific goals there. And like FWA came out of left field, and then it got bigger and better. And then Brian said, it's time. And I was like, no, it's 3 to 5 years too early.
So much for that timeline.
Right? And then to jump on board and fast track it all. Oh my goodness. Very, very intimidating and scary. I'm like, I talk about imposter syndrome. I'm like, I've never done anything like this before. I don't know anything about hosting a trade show. I could throw a little party, I guess, if I had to, but like, that's not a passion of my heart. Like, you're joking. But yeah, that was definitely intimidating, scary.
Well, and you handled it well. I do remember after the show last year, just sitting on the floor outside of the conference area. Yes, a lot of times they're the best moves. But I just remember sitting on that floor with you, and you were like, I just need a minute.
You were like, I just want my sweater and I gotta go home. I'm like, you can't have it because I'm not getting up to get it. Like, let's just be real honest how that conversation went. Like, I'm in Vegas for 2 weeks leading up to the show, and then it's hardcore the entire 2 weeks nonstop, no weekends off, no downtime, because like there are so many parts and pieces. And that last day of the show, I'm confined to my box, right, of making sure that everybody has access to me after the show ends. And it's extremely draining. Now, do I love it? Every second of it. Don't get it twisted. But yeah.
The two things can be true. Two things can be true at the same time. You can be absolutely terrified and also absolutely enjoy the snot out of what you're doing. There have been so many times in life, but also, you know, in this industry where those two things hold true. You can be absolutely petrified to do something and still be enjoying yourself. They're not like mutually exclusive.
I definitely agree with that. But I mean, like, even more than that, like, you were talking about that imposter syndrome. And of course, I have it at times. You said you have it. But hasn't it completely built your confidence up also?
Yeah.
Knowing that this is where you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to be doing it. Like, what specifically was like that aha moment that was like a game changer for you that made you realize, okay, I'm supposed to be here. I'm doing it right, even when you do it wrong.
Oof.
Like that built your confidence to where you are today.
Man, I gotta go multiple times, but more recently, being able to pull the data that I need from like Google Analytics. So if
I don't
we
even know
go
what that
through,
means.
so for anybody that is doing like deep dive marketing stuff, Michaela, I know she's gonna feel this in her soul as well. So here it's just me. I do all of our social media stuff. I do our tracking on the back end. So like Google Analytics, following the LinkedIn Analytics, just trying to see where everything's coming from. But what I've been trying to do more recently is track all of those things into Google Analytics. And it was a long, long time of me wanting to just put my face through my computer screen. And one day I was having a conversation with our good buddy ChatGPT, and I asked a question, and then it just spiraled, and I kept asking more and more and more. And then I went and did something, and I found something in Google, and it was a way to trace back to things that I was not previously able to see. And it has been life-changing, but also like that confidence boost, because that's one of the things, like Google Analytics, never had touched it before I started doing this. And probably one of the things that, you know, if it's something that you're trained for, you know how to do it. I did not. And that's a big source of, you know, not feeling adequate in that area. So recently, like I said, I found the things that I had been looking for, and now I've got my forms created where I can just click on them and it will track all the things that I need. And that has probably been a huge confidence boost recently. And not only a confidence boost, but when you have that confidence boost, it also kind of rejuvenates you into, okay, this is fun. I am enjoying this. Like I like what I do. I love what I do here. So that's, you know, one of those really bucket filling things.
Yes.
Just, you know, finding that out and like, okay, I'm doing something right, and I got something that's like valuable to what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So,
By the way, I just want everybody to know that when you and I have conversations, this is exactly how they go. Where like Lisa's using all these wonderful words and these fantastic sentences, and I'm just like, yo, I can't today. And then she comes out with like this really eloquent explanation as to why I can't and shouldn't have to. So if you have the opportunity to be Lisa's friend in real life, you should do it. It's fun.
now see, this is the part where there is no imposter syndrome, because I have been performing since I was 5. So this part, I could come on and talk for the entire half hour by myself and be unfazed. Not that anybody would want to listen to me do that, but
maybe we should try an episode like that.
I'll mime to myself. It's fine. No, but seriously, that's you know, this is one of the things where I excel, and I think that's, you know, why when the opportunity was presented to move into marketing, I was like, yeah, I can do that. Like,
it's natural.
I'll run my mouth to whoever's going to listen to me. And that I do use my degree because it's performing and being up in front of people. And that's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know
Ooh.
something from you, though, before we end, because I know we're getting close. So from where you started to where you are now, what is something that you used to be very certain of, but now you know differently?
Oh God, like that's like all kinds of stuff. Okay, are we going back to like turning 18 and joining the workforce? Or are we talking about like
Well,
turning 31 or something and then joining like the fence industry? Or are we talking about like turning a couple of years ago older and joining FWA? Because like I've got a step for each of those. At 20, you know, I thought I had all the confidence in the world and knew it all and I could do anything, and that, if I just faked it till I made it, I was going to 100% make it, right? But like, there's that void there where you realize, oh, I just sound like a bumbling idiot who's, can't listen to anybody because she knows everything. And then jumping into the fence industry, recognizing that like, okay, I don't know anything. I'm scared to death. Now I'm picking up giant boxes and talking to 1,000 people on the phone, and mostly men, and they're using, very technical terms with me. And, I'm over here like, I got my pink polish on today. Like I don't want to chip a nail. And then, we turn around and I work for Brian now, and that's just a brand new adventure every single day. Like one day I'll be like, oh yeah, I totally speak Brian. And then on day 2, I'm like, I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea what's happening today. So like, what was the question? What's something that I confidently know is not true today?
Yeah, like something that you thought to be true, and I guess probably, moving through your stages in the fence industry, to bring it back to that, more specifically, is something that you were like so sure of that now you're so sure that it's not that way.
Golly. Okay. I was so sure that if I walked into a room with confidence, that people wouldn't see through me, right? But now, as a few years older and knowing way more people, if I don't walk in genuinely, there are lots of people out there who can see through that, through the fake confidence and faking it till you make it. So
yeah,
just being genuine to yourself. I think that's probably one of the most important lessons in life, right? And I'm still really good at faking it till I make it, but like there are still people who can throw the BS flag at me.
Yeah. That's, and that's what I think Women of FWA is here for, just, that group of women to support you in those times. I say it all the time, there's a lot of stuff I know about my specific product or my specific job, but when you bring the group of us all together, I mean, we all are doing different things, whether that's, on the leadership team or whether that's, Women of FWA as a whole or FWA as a whole. If you're involved, that's what we're here for, to reach out, in those moments where you're being genuinely yourself, but you still need a little bit of that help to back you up. I mean, that's the whole reason that we exist.
True that, sister. Man, yeah, relationships matter. Women of FWA matters. Man. I guess recognize I don't have to sell it. I am who I am, and so are you.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Anything coming up?
We've got a show in Security Expo. Yeah, I pulled that last week. And you were like, what?
Well, you told me I wasn't doing the beginning, so I had to like jumpstart to the end.
You go to fenceshow.com to register. If you go onto Facebook, onto my Facebook page, I just released a large chunk of the education courses. Once I have the last couple of little sprinkles done, I'll actually have them lined up today, week and time. But you should definitely go full throttle. I was actually working on the food and beverage menu today with my good old buddy, old pal, Michaela. And honestly, like, it's completely worth it. We're going to give you something to eat for breakfast. We're going to make sure you have snacks. We're going to give you something to eat for lunch. On Tuesday, I mean, there's an opportunity to get fed by us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you come to the kickoff party. So I mean, we're covering a large chunk of meals. I'm not going to say all of it's going to be like super hearty and a steak because it's not. We got to feed the masses on a smaller budget, but nonetheless, like we'll make sure you have some snacks and some waters and all the things if you go full throttle. And so that alone just makes the ticket worth it. Plus the people teaching, you've seen that they're releasing lots of new instructors every single day.
Are we still voting for instructors?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's still happening. I believe Brian is uploading the new instructors like as we speak because I just released a couple today. Like I had some meetings today with people to confirm that they were going to come and teach and working on their outlines, and it's going to be fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. It's about that time.
Okay. Let's roll out, homie.
We'll see you next week. Everybody have a happy 4th of July. America 250.